I've seen a lot of dragons coming once I was a dragon preacher. Sometimes I saw people and they were actually devastated. It came to me actually saying that they have no dragon by their side, or is the dragon very much real, or whatever. Actually, a lot of doubt. And back in the day, especially back in the day, I followed a lot of people up, very personal. Because I was very interested in where it was going to end. Because even to this day, of course, but I have lesser time now because of jobs and things like this. But back in the day, I didn't have a job, so I had all the time. The only thing that I was doing was writing a book. But yeah, I personally followed a lot of people up, and so also wrote it down in my book of Dragon Shadows, how everything turned out to be. In most cases, and this was actually very, very positive. That the dragon actually very much managed to open this gate and come to the one that they are connected to. Sometimes I was actually wondering, am I actually allowed to face this, to see all of this? Because somewhere I could feel that the dragon was coming through this man or woman, and so connecting with the spirit that they have inside of them. It's very beautiful to watch. It's very beautiful to witness, actually. All of these dragons being coming through and actually touching these people, their soul. And once they did, they immediately not only believed it, they experienced it. The dragon was now their experience. And they said a lot of thank yous, of course, but I thought this was actually a good way to train myself into, because I want to feel all of the dragons, your dragons as well. But later on, I know that actually, yeah, this is your story, this is your circle, this is your personal dragon eye. Am I allowed to witness this? I'm not sure. I know that this is also my dragon's eye, my circle, and I don't allow other people in it. But these people allowed me in it because they were actually struggling with a lot of things, with a lot of issues. So many so that they never were planning to release their dragons. But that is just the thing, you know. That is the most difficult part of the dragon's path, so it seems. Ever since I've been a dragon preacher and talking for the dragons, this seems like the major issue for all of us. This is the doubt. This is the darkness over you. This is the negative thoughts that you are lesser than them, or maybe the thoughts, of course, with the thoughts that you don't have a dragon by your side. Well, actually, all of you that I've actually talked to, all of you have a dragon by your side. But the thing is, if they don't have enough energy from you, that you notice them, then of course they are still by your side, but they are not going to be there strong enough, because they will be here in spirits, and these spirits, they need connection with you. The first thing that all of these spirits do is to touch your spirit, because that is what the dragon looks at. They don't look at your body, they look at your soul, and your soul is a sleeping dragon. That is the first thing that they are trying to do. Once they touch it, you know that they are there, and that is how you feel it, because they don't touch your body alone. They touch it, go through it, and they touch your sleeping dragon. They want to wake it up, and that is the entire goal of the dragons. And that is very beautiful to witness. But I wasn't sure if I was allowed to witness this, because a dragon's eye can be so sacred, so personal. This is a very much personal story. I've seen other stories as well, of course, that people turned their back on the dragon. They were so much connected. They loved each other so much. She believed in them so much. It was also an experience. But the parents said she shouldn't do this, because you have to follow a religion. And she was managing, and that is also a very difficult thing to do, because I always say, once on the dragon's path, you're always on the dragon's path. You have connected with the dragon, and this is going to be an experience. You are home. You are home. What she did was going back out of this home, and in an uncomfortable moment, she actually ditched the dragon. And they were both so dark in their emotions, in sorrow and sadness and emptiness, that the dragon just didn't. My goodness, this was one of the few and negative experience that I had as a dragon preacher, that people turned their back on the dragon, even if they were so much connected, still managed to turn their back on the dragon. A true dragon witch or someone who experienced the dragon, if your dragon soul is awakened, you just, I don't see how you can turn your back on the dragon, because the dragon in itself is, it's your family. It's a part of who you are, and once you discover it, it's just almost impossible. But it's possible. I've seen it. But in most cases, let's say 89%, 90% of the people, they will always be loving it. They will all love every second in the presence of the dragon, and that is what gives me this. This is my entire point of being a dragon preacher. The only goal that I have is not money, like some preachers who is, of course, because I don't have anything from this. The only thing and satisfaction that I have is that your dragon will be released, and that you connect with them, that the dragon is not dead, that the dragon is not forgotten, that the dragon is still with you all the time, and that you know that they are there, and that you will not turn your back on them. That is my greatest satisfaction that I have on the dragon's path, and as a dragon preacher, to talk about them, but not only that, to know that you release the dragon. That is the entire point, and the only reason why I do it, because I've seen it with myself. I experienced this myself, and in 2005. And the thing is, I could have used a little hand in this. I could have used a word, someone who talked about this, and maybe someone who follows this up. But I didn't have that, and that is what motivated me to say maybe I could be there for others, and be a preacher, because that is what the dragon doesn't have. The dragon doesn't have someone who talks about them, and yet it's so easy for the dragon to be here. The only thing that they need is your trigger. The only thing that you need is your trigger, that they need is a trigger, because you are already connected to them. The only thing that you need to know, that the dragon is real, by your side, on your doorstep. Open the door. And the dragon is not evil, and you should know that. The dragon is one with dark and light, and the dragon is one with nature. And the dragon is certainly one with you. And the only thing that you need to do is to open the gates. And maybe one day, maybe today, you should do it yesterday, that you also talk about the dragon. That you also become a dragon preacher. Because there are not many people who talk about it. The only thing that you need to know as a dragon preacher is that there are no established rules. So there are no laws, you can say. This is a very personal story. The only thing that you need to know is that you shouldn't say about, you should do this and you should do that, and be careful for that, be careful for hell. But no, that is not it. Just motivate those people who say that they love dragons. So they don't need much. You don't need much. Because the dragon is already with you. The only thing is just that you open the door. And the most strange thing of all this, that it's the most difficult thing of the dragon's path, is to open this gate, because no one ever told you that there is a gate, that there is a dragon by your side. No one ever told you this, but yet there is a dragon by your side, and there is a gate to open up, and that you really love it, that you can feel it, that you love the dragon so much. That is the thing. It's natural. It's a natural feeling. It's a natural desire. It's a natural way, because your spirit is a sleeping dragon. Let it become awakened. Awaken the dragon. Release the dragon. That is not. And once it's going to be released. Once it's free, you're going to be filled with questions. And that is also why I love to follow this up with a lot of people. Once you are awakened, the story is not done, because it continues then, and it continues to evolve, because that is also what the dragon does. The dragon evolves inside of you, but also by your side. The dragon learns from this place. The dragon learns from your humanity. The dragon learns from everything, just as well as you learn from your new and awakened soul, you can say. This story continues. That is why it's being called a path. It's a dragon's path. It's going to be a path, not easy at all. No one has said that it's going to be easy. That is why it's interesting to continue preaching, maybe to talk about the dragon. So keep in mind, if you want to talk about the dragon, there are no established rules. The rules has to be made by yourself, and that you have to know. You should, you could. That is a thing that you can do. But especially motivate the people, motivate them. Let them know that there is no just Jesus and God, or the devil or Satan. That is, it's far beyond that. It's endless. But the thing is, I never felt all of these gods. I felt the dragon, just as you felt the dragon with you. You feel the dragon with you. I know you feel it. That makes you so special. That makes you so... That is worth my time. That is worth so much of my time. Because the dragon is worth it. Your dragon is worth it. The dragon by your side, or the dragon that you are inside of you. You are worth it. You are worth every word that I say. That is why I say to you, awaken. Awaken, rise of the dragon, that the rise of your spirit, the rise of your dragon's eye, your dragon's circle. That is why it's also interesting for you and for anyone else who has experience about the dragon to talk about it. Go on YouTube, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, talk about it, write about it. Talk about the dragon. The more that you do, the more that you get people being awakened. Not for yourself. I mean, like I said, I earn nothing with this. But this is in fact my entire goal. Just don't let the dragon be forgotten. This one time, or several times actually, that I've seen people turn their back on the dragon. That is really devastating. This hurts. This is painful. This is not something that I want to see again. But this was actually also an experience that I learned from. People can still turn their back, even though I thought it was impossible. That is why it's interesting to follow them up, even after the awakening. So yeah, talking about the dragon, I love to talk about them. No one talks about them actually like they should, because they are a very interesting topic, so much interesting, but there are not a lot of people who have a dragon by their side. So and those who have one will not immediately say that they have one, they have a dragon, because no one ever said to them that they are real. But you shouldn't be afraid, you shouldn't be embarrassed for this, you should be proud of who you are. You are the chosen of the dragon. You are, your spirit is that of the dragon. It's reincarnated inside of a human shell. It's so beautiful to see, but it just needs to be awakened. And let my words awaken you, my brothers and sisters.